Hey everyone, it's Tim Talks Finance. Are you considering getting a reverse mortgage, or do you know a loved one that might be considering it? And did you happen to know that last year, more than 50,000 or almost 40, more than 49,000 people, it was like 49,207. Investopedia said took on reverse mortgages more than the year before, which is the largest increase ever, probably due to the cost of rising inflation and energy costs, and Social Security is not quite adjusting to those same numbers. Okay, well, if so, then you come to the right place. Okay, I'm a mortgage broker here in the state of Arizona, and I actually own my own company. We're also licensed in the state of Colorado, but don't worry. These concepts will work no matter where in the country that you're listening from. Okay, so sit back, stay tuned, and let's have some fun. All right, so today I'm going to cover with you some pros and cons of reverse mortgage. So that way you'll know if it's a good program for you or someone that you love. So for me, my mother always had me making her financial decisions once there was a certain point she got to, and she didn't want to make those financial decisions anymore. She wanted me to make those for her. She said, "Hey, whatever is the best for me, make those choices for me." And of course, as their kid, of course, we're going to do the right thing and try to make sure that we make and do the right thing with their money. And so I helped my mother-in-law understand this particular concept before taking on a reverse mortgage. And I think if you guys can grasp the idea of it, then you'll get a good idea for whether or not it's a good thing for you. Okay, so let's start off by first listing all the pros, and then we'll go through the cons, and we'll see which one outweighs each other. Okay, pro number one. Okay, so it's going to help with retirement income. If the income that you have from Social Security isn't enough, or you just want a lump of cash, there's actually 3 different ways that you can get a reverse mortgage. Number one, you can start off with a small line of credit, and then maybe put a larger chunk into an interest-bearing account, right? So if the current interest rates, the market's going for 4%, I think they pay like 4.5 or 4.25. You're getting above market rate for the interest, and so that money can't touch it for a full year. That's a line of credit, but as soon as you start drawing on it, you can, after 12 months, you can pull from it whenever you need it. There's also another way that you can just get monthly payments. So the top 3 ways would be lump sum, number 1. Number 2, home equity line of credit with a small amount of a draw up front, or a big large draw up front, and in a HELOC held aside that you can access and tap into later. Or number 3, a structured monthly debt settlements coming to you right from the mortgage servicer every single month. Okay, number 2, you can remain the occupant and you're going to retain the deed to the property. So you're keeping the property, you're keeping occupancy, and you're still getting the money. Plus, they'll never ever evict you unless you don't pay your taxes or insurance. Other than that, as long as your other stuff, and by the way, if you feel like you can't pay those taxes and insurance on your own, that's okay. Let the bank know that you want a LISA. Okay, that stands for Life Expectancy Set Aside. And LISA can help out because what it does is actually pays your property taxes and it pays your insurance for you so that you're not having to write those checks every single year. All right, number 3. There's no income taxes on these funds, unlike other retirement incomes that are sometimes taxable. So you don't have to pay any income taxes on these funds per the IRS tax code because they're considered a loan and not a source of income. Okay. Number 4, the loan is actually federally insured, which is why the banks are so incentivized to do these. So if you become upside down and the bank has to take a loss, then they'll go back to FHA or HUD, and then they'll make a claim for the insurance, and then that's how they kind of get squared away. So the incentive for the bank to do them is because HUD is going to pay that loss, or FHA, on the borrower's behalf, right? So the benefit to the bank is they're getting incentivized by HUD. All right, the number 5 pro. Your loved ones can actually still receive this property as an inheritance after you pass away. They can buy it for actually 95% of the appraised value, or whatever the loan balance is, whichever is less. They're actually going to allow you to give it to your kids as an inheritance for 95% of the appraised value at the time when you passed away, or whatever you owe on the loan if it's less than that. Okay, so we're through 5 of the big pros, okay? So let's go through the cons. Con number 1. This is a big one. It's going to be hefty fees. You're going to want to get a quote from at least 3 or 4 different loan officers. You're going to want to get one from a bank, and then you're going to want to get one from a broker, and probably just another broker to make sure that the numbers are in line for you. The fees can be very extravagant, and some of these are going to go straight to HUD, but there are other fees involved that you really need to make sure that this is an okay program for you, because the fees are much higher than almost any other closing cost program out there that I've seen. All right, con number 2. Now, earlier I told you didn't have to pay taxes on this loan. That's true. You don't have to. You might still want to talk to a tax advisor, though, and find out if it's going to mess up any other qualifications that you have, such as Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, or anything like that. The only reason I say that is because it may be considered a monthly income or a asset in the bank if you put it in the bank with the particular program. So you might want to check with those programs that you're on to make sure that this isn't going to impact it negatively in any way. All right, folks. Well, I hope you found this information helpful. Like I said, this information is good all throughout the United States of America. So I hope you found it helpful. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button, the little notification and subscribe button, that way the YouTube algorithm knows that they should share this video with other people just like you. All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking the time. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.